understand. I'm out my mind, I popped. Sheesh, I swear this lock shot got me stuttering. Girl, you I fall in love again. Sheesh, get it, my favorite rush. You talkative, ain't gotta say too much. Be quiet, who got some grapes? I'm trying to. I'm all board for these. Get it, not complicated. No conversation, get it, not complicated. No conversation, please say less. Please say less. Please say less.
I'm blessed, I don't GA. You tryna. Yes on, yes on, yes on, yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't got, you ain't got. Say less.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. This is a rivalry game that always gets the blood pumping, both on the field and in the stands. One of the great division battles in the NFC. They've met once already this season. We'll see what kind of fireworks are in store for us here in Game 2. It's the Falcons going up against the Panthers.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. Oh, look at that. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
On first down, it's Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down. The shotgun snap for Newton. Room here to run. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 6 there on first. And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes.
Touchdown, Falcons! A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
To throw on second down is Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to sack him. And that is 10 for him now on the year. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And from down in Miami, an update. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Ryan Tannehill, an early touchdown pass in that one. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Second down now after the pass completion. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Back to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He'll drop to throw. Got some real estate inside the 30. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do?
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing is Newton. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Throw left side complete. That's Grant. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. The Jets are out to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So the D-line's going to spread out. 2nd and 10, Newton again. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. 30, 10, touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side, it's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll set up to throw. Green with a catch left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. It doesn't matter where he lines up, where he... releases from, working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They're going to look to throw. And Green with a catch left side. Touchdown, Falcons.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They snap it to Newton. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. And even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
They'll set up a throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Jerrell Casey. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Green. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means offensive.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jerrell Casey in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the third at MetLife Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now onto the field, here come the Panthers. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. Now, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted,
so the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Newton. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Newton on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Harper. And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Falcons add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Carolina getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in. Groove right now. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the 2 of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On first down, Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tech McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. To throw on 2nd down, Newton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long, it's Newton. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield. He's sacked at the 46. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And it's incomplete. So now only 7 seconds remain. Ten yards still left on 2nd down. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. They are in the 4th and Buffalo.